What's up, everybody? This is Casey Wash with the Rolling for Revenue podcast, the podcast dedicated to jiu-jitsu school owners to help them build more impact in their communities and create the lifestyle that they want on their terms. So, guys, today what I want to talk to you about is something that's so prevalent in our industry, and that is this martyrdom, this feeling of like selling out when you're successful, or you don't want to charge a lot of money. Or I hear this all the time where I want my school to be for everybody. All of that's noble, but you're shooting yourself in the foot. And what I mean by that is, if you wanted jiu-jitsu to be for everybody, then you should have just done it for free in the park, or approach your local YMCA and say, will you hire me to teach jiu-jitsu? But you took the risk. You put your name on the lease. You maxed out your credit cards and borrowed money from family and friends to make this dream a reality. If you go into your school today and look around, everything has your fingertips on, or your fingerprints on it. From the paint on the walls to the mats on the floor, everything either cost you financially or with sweat equity. And then we tend to cut ourselves off at the knees by not charging what we're worth, but also by undercutting ourselves, so we don't have to explain why we're worth what we're worth. So in this episode, guys, what I want to attack this, and I want you to walk away with a different frame of reference, and I want to reframe this whole thing to where you look at your school differently after this episode. The really cool part about jiu-jitsu is the amount of time it takes and the amount of dedication that's needed to end up a higher belt or even a black belt. So I cut my teeth in the fitness industry. I've been a personal trainer for 25 years. I have 7 personal training studios. And the crappy part about it is, somebody can go get a certification over the weekend and now they are my direct competitor, and the market knows no difference. They don't know who's a black belt in the fitness industry compared to who's a white belt, who just got certified, or who's been doing this for decades. The cool part about jiu-jitsu is you're literally wearing that around your waist, and there's a leadership component just by putting on that black belt. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because none of us looked at a jiu-jitsu business and said, this is where I'm going to make my millions. No, we did it because jiu-jitsu changed our lives. Somewhere along the way in our journey, we realized, like, man, I owe everything to jiu-jitsu. It shaped who I am on and off the mats. And now I want to teach that to others. And I want to bring this change to their lives that I've experienced. And so we end up opening our school, our academy. But here's the hard part. And this is really interesting to me, because we are constantly trying to become better at the art, right? We all have strengths and weaknesses. We try to close up those weaknesses as best we can on the mats, or at least have a couple options per position to at least hopefully get back to our game, right? The weird part is, so many school owners I know completely neglect the skill set of owning a business, and they think the passion from jiu-jitsu is going to carry the business. And without the business skill, that passion will turn to a prison. And the thing that you once loved, you're going to start to resent because of the lack of business skills needed off the mats to run a successful school. And now this is where this is the crossroads. You're obviously watching this because you want more for your school, you want more for your students, and you realize there is more. And so I'm glad you found this. But now what I need you to realize is, if you're not bringing home the amount of money you want to create the lifestyle you want to live, you're not creating enough impact in your area. The really neat thing about the fitness industry, about martial arts, and especially jiu-jitsu, is every dollar we earn is because we're impacting somebody's life. That's super cool because we get to go to sleep at night every night knowing we're creating change in our communities. Now, if you're struggling to keep the lights on, whether at home or the school, you don't know where you're going to get the revenue for payroll, it's because you're not creating enough impact. And there's obviously, we're going to be going over all these different ways to create more impact, create more revenue for the school. But first, I need to attack the mindset. And the fact that you're listening to this or watching this means you want to create more impact. You want a certain lifestyle. And the really neat part about it, guys, at the fundamental level of owning a business is a vehicle for you to create the lifestyle you want. So you need to first think about what sort of life you want and what that looks like, and then build the business to support that. Some people want to teach every class, right? Because that's where they find their most joy. Some people want to create the impact and create the business and have the freedom to travel and do other things. Both are great. The thing is you need to systematically design your business to do whichever it is you want it to do. If you hate teaching every class and you're getting burnt out from it and you're starting to resent it, then you need to structure the business so you don't have to teach every class. And so there's ways to do that. It's where the burnout and the resentment comes in is when you're forced to do things you don't want to do and there's no other means for them to get done. All right. So in a lot of cases, we all start out as solopreneurs, meaning like we open the school and I'm it. I'm the janitor. I'm the head instructor. I'm the front desk. I'm everything rolled up into one. But as the business, if that's the way you want it, cool. I don't think that's the way everybody wants it though. It's just how we all start. And then some people get stuck in that rut because they're never trying to get out. They're just focused on the wrong things. They're not focused on the skill sets needed to run a successful business. They're just pouring more and more into the actual classes and then neglecting the skill sets. So what I want you to take away from this, guys, very simply put, if your business is not serving you, then it needs to change because your passion is now turning to a prison and you're going to end up resenting it. I know so many people that don't even train jiu-jitsu anymore because they opened a school. It didn't go well for them because they had no structure, no plan. They just figured, I know jiu-jitsu, people just show up and I'm going to teach them. And we're going to have a waiting list of students who want to come in just because I'm fantastic at jiu-jitsu. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Gordon Ryan and you have the same level of knowledge to everyone in the grocery store that knows nothing about jiu-jitsu. They don't know who Gordon Ryan is. They don't know who you are. You both have a school in the same town. Gordon Ryan can put all his accolades. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Right? Because to the average person outside of jiu-jitsu, they have no idea who these people, they have no idea who you are. They have no idea who he is, which is very freeing if you think about it. I know purple belts that started schools that are more successful than world champions. Why? Because of the different skill sets involved in running a business. It has nothing to do with the accolades from actual jiu-jitsu. It has to do with how you treat people, how you nurture people, how you run your business, how you nurture leads to get them to become a client, and then how you take them on that client journey and keep them engaged. That all matters, right? So this episode, I want you to leave with two things. I'm giving you permission to make the amount of money you want to make, whatever that looks like. And the second thing is we're all on the same level, which is extremely freeing. Doesn't matter if you're a world champion, doesn't matter if you're a purple belt and have the dream of opening your own school or you open your own school. The playing field is now level. which is awesome. Now on the mats is a completely different thing. If you're a purple belt competing against a black belt, completely different thing as opposed to the competition inside business. All right. So remember, every dollar you make is because you're creating impact. And if you're not bringing home the amount of money you want to, it's because you're not creating enough impact and you didn't design the business to be able to sustain more and create more impact. All right, guys. So if this episode helped you, please share it. And if you want the complete frameworks of everything I'm talking about, I have the Rolling for Revenue book at rollingforrevenue.com. Just click the link and in the show notes, and it'll take you to rollingforrevenue.com and get yourself a copy. And then you can dive deeper and deeper into this topic, guys. Until next time, I'll see you on the mats.